This is everything that I have crocheted in 2025. I need to put this down. I have crocheted quite a lot this year. I don't think I really realised like how much I crocheted, and then I wrote down everything and I was like, oh, this is actually quite a lot. I dedicate a lot of time to crocheting. I love to crochet. I crochet in the evenings when I'm not working. I crochet on the days I'm not working. I crochet on the weekends. I crochet on public transport. I crochet a lot. I dedicate a lot of time to this art form and to this craft because I love it and because I enjoy it. Last time I did this video, and especially on TikTok, there were a lot of people who felt a type of way about the amount that I crocheted. So if you have anything negative to say, don't, I guess. Maybe just don't. Like I said, I dedicate a lot of time to my art form because I thoroughly enjoy it. I love designing, I love the construction process, I love the finished process, I love putting colour palettes together. I genuinely have so much love and adoration for this craft, and I feel like it's given me a new sense of creativity and freedom, particularly the fact that I am plus size and I am making my own clothes. Like, that's fucking cool. Is the sun being weird? Why is the sun? Hello? Everything that I'm going to talk about, I will put all of the pattern information in the description. So if I don't say it out loud, which I most likely will, you can go to the description, everything will be listed there. Also, if you don't know me, my name is Rajan. I am a plus size crochet pattern designer and content creator. I design a lot of the patterns that I am going to be talking about today. The large majority of the things that I'm going to talk about are either my own patterns or stuff I've freehanded. Obviously anything that's not, I will reference the designer. All right, without further ado, let's get cracking. So the first thing that I crocheted in 2025 is conveniently the thing that I'm currently wearing. This is the Wafflin On Cardigan. It is a really nice top-down raglan cardigan, and a raglan basically just means that you are working from the top all the way down. There are no panels to join. You're not doing panels, you're not going from the bottom up or anything like that. It is called the Wafflin On Cardigan because I love a pun, but also the stitch is a really nice like textured waffly kind of stitch. It's not the waffle stitch, and it also doesn't eat up as much yarn, and I just feel like the Wafflin On Cardigan is perfect because I love to waffle. I added these really nice like crystal heart buttons, and I think they're just like the perfect added touch. I really enjoy wearing this just open or with like the first one or two buttons done up. I think that looks really nice as well, and I went for like a fitted fit with this one. Like the fit that I was going for was like a kind of fitted like thin cardigan that you'd put over like a dress or something, or like over like a little tank top, something that's just like a nice little layerable layer. So I did the sleeves nice and fitted. I did it just like a regular length. I didn't want anything particularly cropped or anything, and I used a alpaca yarn. This is the Drops alpaca, and I have never worked with alpaca before, but I did some research beforehand, found out that it blocks really nicely, and it blocked really nicely. So I did do a whole vlog for this as well, so if you want to see like the before and after of the blocking, I think this is like the most transformative blocking that I have ever like had with any crochet project, because like the before was crazy. Like if you watch that vlog or if you've followed my videos for that long, you know what it looked like before, and the sleeves were so much shorter, like the top itself was so much shorter, and everything just wasn't really relaxed, and I think the stitch pattern even looked quite different. So yeah, the blocking for this piece was very transformative. I think this was like one of the pieces that really kind of made me like believe in blocking. Like, don't get me wrong, it blocked stuff before and I very much was like, yeah, it works, but I think this one in particular, I was like, oh my god, blocking actually is the crossing the T's, dotting the I's, is the finishing touch to finishing a crochet project. I do have a video pattern for this cardigan. I started doing video patterns a lot more this year because I got a lot of feedback from people who wanted to make my designs that they basically couldn't follow a written pattern, which is fair enough. I know a lot of people are visual learners and learn how to crochet through YouTube, so this is a video pattern where I basically show you how to do everything, show you how to do the stitch, how to get your sizing, the ribbing, all of that fun stuff. And yeah, it's basically essentially like a video tutorial, but I just still get paid for it. I do actually think that video tutorials and like doing a video is actually a lot more work than doing a written pattern. I have to show every part of it, and that is in my opinion a lot more work, and then obviously you've got to edit the whole thing as well and make sure it makes sense. Yeah, it's just a lot. So video pattern, Wafflin On Cardigan, linked in the description. So that is the first thing that I crocheted in 2025. The next thing I crocheted is this hooded scarf. I am wearing my coat for demonstrative purposes because it just feels a bit weird to wear a hooded scarf without putting it with my coat, because that's obviously how I'd wear it. But yes, I crocheted this hooded scarf. I think it's really cute. I basically did these like giant solid granny squares. I did like a nice scalloped border as well, and I created like a hood with it. It's obviously got like the scarf aspect, and I think it's really nice. I wear this all of the time. Like when it's very cold especially, I love the fact that I can kind of like nestle into it and get really nice and snuggly. And I was able to use some of my scrap yarn as well, and so I was really glad that I was able to like use some of this yarn. And I love the colour palette together. I think it looks so nice, and it's not really a colour palette I would necessarily have put together. I do have a whole crochet along for this hooded scarf on my TikTok. I will link the episode or like the playlist to the crochet along. If you are going to save it, please don't spam like or spam favorite each post because it really hurts my reach. You can just save the playlist. There's like a little bookmark button in the top of the actual playlist title. You can just save that. It does like really damage my reach, so please don't like spam me with likes or favorites. Or you can just save the first video and then you'll be able to find all of them from there. You can save any of the videos, to be fair, and you'll be able to find the playlist from there. But yeah, I really love this. I think it's a really cute addition to like my winter wardrobe. I love that it's practical. I love that it's something that I use really regularly, and honestly it doesn't take that much time at all. I feel like as well this would make like a really good gift because it doesn't take that much time and it's like something very, very useful and very handy. It's also very like trendy. Not that I'm like somebody who like buys into trends or anything, but I feel like hooded scarves and like bonnets and balaclavas are like very much like in fashion at the moment. I also feel like these colours go really nicely with this coat. I do have like another dark, like almost like burnt orange, like rusty orange coat, and it does go really nicely with that as well, and I never really would have paired those colours together. But yeah, I love this hooded scarf. I wear it pretty regularly, and this is the second thing that I crocheted this year. The next thing that I crocheted is the On Fire sweater by Made in the Moment. I actually can't believe that this was the third thing that I crocheted this year, or even that I crocheted this year, because I have worn this so many times. Like this has become such a kind of like staple in my sweater rotation that I can't believe that like this time last year I didn't have this. So this is by Made in the Moment, who is a very talented pattern designer. They do crochet and knit patterns. They do a lot of really fun tapestries, and I feel like this was like the gateway piece for my like tapestry crochet obsession this year. All will become clear very, very soon. But yeah, I think this is a really, really fun design. It's got these cool flames. It's a very size inclusive pattern as well. I do have like a whole vlog where I documented the process and shared like my thoughts and my feelings on the actual pattern itself. So if you want to know more about how I crocheted this sweater, I will link the vlog in the description. But if you just want the pattern, I will link Made in the Moment's like socials and stuff in the description as well. But yeah, this is a really great pattern. I think I have 2, maybe 3 of Made in the Moment's patterns. I've made 2 of them. They're both really good. I can't fault them. Both very good, size inclusive, written very well, have lots of visual aids. Yeah, I had a really good time crocheting both of the Made in the Moment patterns that I've done this year. I really love this colour combination as well. Like I'm very much a pink girly, and I love the fact that I was pairing it with black because I don't usually wear a lot of black. So I don't crochet with black very often. I don't wear a lot of black. But yeah, this was really fun. It was very much out of my comfort zone. I did like use bobbins. Let me show you the inside without flashing you. I did use bobbins, so the inside is very, very neat and very tidy. There was a lot of ends, a lot of bobbins, so if that's something that scares you, just bear that in mind. And I really want to make another one, but like with blue flames and a black background. I feel like that would be very Hades coded, and Hades is my favorite villain. So yeah, this was the third thing that I crocheted this year. Also as well, I used acrylic yarn for this, and this was another one of the pieces that I made where the kind of blocking process really like blew my mind, because I've always kind of been told that you can't really wet block acrylic, and this is all acrylic yarn. Like I've been told that you can't wet block it, you have to steam block it, and this was the first time that I like tried wet blocking acrylic yarn, and it blocked amazingly. Again, if you want to see the before and after on the vlog, you can see it there, but the blocking really just transformed the piece. It made it so much more relaxed, it made it way more kind of comfortable. It was like another piece that I was like, oh, blocking is actually kind of integral for me personally. And as well, it made me realize that you absolutely can wet block acrylic, and like it still looks very good if you do. For me personally, the trick to wet blocking acrylic is just using very hot water, and that's it. That's literally it. I personally don't like steam blocking. I find it's like physically a very cumbersome process. I don't really have anywhere to kind of like put a whole garment and steam it. I don't have anywhere to hang it and be able to like pull it in the direction I want. I just much prefer the process of wet blocking. I also like the fact that with wet blocking you're also like washing it, whereas with steam blocking obviously I'm not. So yeah, that's my love affair with wet blocking and wet blocking acrylic over. But yeah, I really enjoyed making the sweater, And this is the third thing I crocheted this year. The next thing I crocheted is the Clown Jewel sweater. This was my very first Tunisian crochet project, and I gotta say, I think I did a very good job. One of the things that I really wanted to do this year was to kind of go outside of my comfort zone in terms of like skills. Like, I wanted to try things and techniques and stuff that I hadn't actually tried before. And I remember seeing Jordan from Jackass Collective have this like entrelac sweater. I think it was, I'm pretty sure hers was knit, but I saw them wearing it and I was like, that looks so fun. And I had it in my mind for so long, and I was like, I wonder if I can find like a crochet stitch or a pattern or something that has a similar vibe. And then I came across Tunisian crochet, came across this method, and I was like, oh my god, I can basically make my own version in Tunisian crochet. And that is pretty much what I did. So I obviously went for a obnoxiously bright color palette. Of course, I think this is a really great color palette. I think this is fun, I think it's whimsical, I think it's silly, and I think it's cool. But I had a really good time crocheting this sweater. The Tunisian crochet aspect of it was really, really fun. It was really fun to learn more about like the history of Tunisian crochet and like how it works, and like the fact that it's like a combination of knitting and crochet. Also as well, I do have a video pattern for this, so if you do want to crochet your own, you can. Again, it is a video pattern, so it's going to be good for all of my visual learners, but I also do feel like this is going to be a really good beginner Tunisian crochet project, because this was obviously my first Tunisian crochet project. But one of the good things about it is that you don't need like a specialized Tunisian crochet hook. You can just use a regular hook, and I think for me personally, that was something that was like kind of always off-putting about Tunisian crochet, is that I had to like source and find and buy this like new piece of equipment, which I didn't necessarily know if I was actually going to like enjoy enough to warrant the cost and the faffing of like buying this new hook. But I love the fact that the first thing that I tried was something that I didn't need to do that for. So yeah, obviously if you do want to crochet your own, I would really recommend it for like Tunisian crochet beginners. I think as well, because of the fact it's a video pattern, I show you how to do everything, so it's like even better for Tunisian crochet beginners. And I think as well, you can really get very creative with your color palettes. Obviously I went for something like pretty crazy. You don't have to do that. I think the texture in like the stitches and in the little kind of like diamonds is so fun, and I feel like one of these in all one color would look so chic and so sexy and really cool. So yeah, I really want to make another one in all one color. I think that would look so beautiful. But I love the texture of the little diamonds. They kind of remind me of like shreddy cereal or Chex cereal, and I just feel like the name Clown Jewels is so perfect. I actually really struggled to name this sweater, and I remember like asking on, I think on TikTok and on Instagram, for like name suggestions. Also, if I ever do that, I will always give the person who I like gave me the name, I'll always give them a copy of the pattern for free, which I did. And yeah, one of my followers said Clown Jewels, and I was like, that is so perfect, because it's a pun, but also like clown because of like Harlequin vibes, because of the diamonds, but also diamonds are jewels, and it's also a pun. It was perfect, loved it. So yeah, I feel like it's the perfect name. I really love the sweater. I really want to make another one, and yeah, I think it's just such a fun piece. I feel like, again, this has become like a real staple in my wardrobe, especially when I'm feeling a bit like I want to just throw on a bunch of colour. Like, this is a very easy sweater for me to put on that just like instantly brings me joy. So yeah, this is the next thing that I crocheted. And the next thing I crocheted is this really fun asymmetrical jacket. It has a functional asymmetrical zipper, which is like a two-sided zipper, which I think is so fun. So this was a part of my crochet graveyard series, where I basically take like old projects that live in my crochet graveyard, which is basically where all of my projects that I don't wear or didn't finish, which is less likely, but mostly the ones that like I don't wear, don't fit me properly, I don't reach for, that's where they just all go to die. And every now and again I will grab one out and I will faff around with it. I'll either fix it, I'll frog it, I'll turn it into something new, and this is one of those projects. So this used to be my all frills sweater, which is a pattern that I absolutely love and I think is so cute and really, really special, because it was one of my first patterns. But I just didn't gravitate towards that particular piece. And if you know me, you know I love the Sadar jewel spun yarn, which is what this yarn is, and I didn't want that yarn to essentially like just go to waste and be sat in a project that I don't really wear that regularly. So I frogged the whole thing, I turned it into this jacket. It was very much a process. Like, I have a whole vlog where I documented the process of me crocheting this. This was hard, like I can't lie to you. Like the construction of this was difficult for me. It was a structurally complex piece, probably one of the most structurally complex complex pieces I've ever done. It's a vertical construction. Obviously we have an asymmetrical zip, we have like a neckline here, obviously we have like another panel here. So yeah, it was a very complex piece. There was parts of it I was like, I'm really unsure if I'm going to be able to like achieve the thing that I wanted to achieve with it. I was kind of like figuring out ways of like compromising, or you know, finding a loophole with what I actually wanted. I also, to make things harder for myself, I basically like invented this stitch, this like ribbed stitch, which I don't know why I chose to do that, but I think it looks cool, and I think it looks really, really good in the yarn. Overall, I think it turned out really, really nice. I think the yarn is beautiful. I really love especially how the stitch looks in the sleeves. I think that looks really, really nice. And what's better is that I saved this from my crochet graveyard, so I was able to actually like, rather than having it sit there and me not wear it, have it be something that is a little bit more functional, a little bit more wearable, and something that I can implement a little bit more easier into my wardrobe. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is a Sadar dual spun yarn. I can't remember the colorway. If you go to my vlog, I probably mention it there. I don't have a pattern for this, nor will I be making one. Sometimes I just like to make things for myself, and like, as much as obviously I am somebody who does design patterns, I don't think I'm like a pattern designer. I didn't set out to be a pattern designer, I just happen to design patterns. You know, like, I think a lot of the reason why I share what I make on social media is because I love crochet so much, and I love the fibre art so much that I want to talk about it and I want to share what I'm up to. So sometimes like I don't want to make a pattern, sometimes I'm not willing to, sometimes the things that I make I want just to be for me. And that is something that I really love about crochet, is that like, especially for me personally, where I have gained so much understanding of garment construction, and I feel like I have quite a lot of creativity and creative freedom in that regard. Like, it's quite fun for me to have these very unique like one-of-one pieces, and like, I don't want to make a pattern a lot of the time with some stuff. With some stuff I'm like, I want that just for myself. I don't want to turn around and everyone's making the same design as me. Like, with some stuff I'm willing to and more open to sharing, if that makes sense. But sometimes I want to be a bit selfish, and I think the things that come from my brain and the things that I try really hard on and the things that I want to be just for me can just be that, just for me. And I think that that's okay. And I think that honestly, like, especially on TikTok as well, TikTok is really, really bad for it. Like, I think maybe more people need to understand that like, this is also like my art form. This is also like a way for me to creatively express myself, and I don't necessarily want everything to be like taken from me. You can do that yourself, you know, like you can also express yourself creatively, but like sometimes I just want to share what I'm making for the love of sharing, not necessarily for me to like have loads of people want to take it from me and make their own version of it. I hope that makes sense. Obviously I love the fact that people love my designs. That's a very, very big compliment, and I will never ever take that for granted. The fact that people want to like part with their hard-earned money for a pattern of mine is still a crazy, crazy concept to me. But yeah, sometimes I like the uniqueness and individuality that I am able to create these garments and stuff, and I want them to be just for myself. But yeah, this is the next thing that I crocheted in 2025. So the next thing I crocheted this year is the all tied up cardigan. I don't have that to hand right now because it is in my summer storage, but this was a really, really fun piece. And I remember like the inspiration for this piece was basically that I saw, I think I want to say like, it was like on a catwalk or something like that. I basically saw that they had these like trousers or joggers or something where up the sides of them they had like these little ties, like it was like bows basically. And I was like, that would be so cute on like a little like top, basically a little crochet top. And so the all tied up cardigan is a v-neck like spring and summer cardigan. You could absolutely make this in like a thicker or a heavier or chunkier yarn. I just think it's more suited to spring and summer personally, especially the one I've made. But yeah, it's a v-neck like cardigan, has front ties down the front of it, and then on the sides of the sleeves it has little ties as well, so hence all tied up cardigan. You know, I love a pun. But yeah, I had a really good time making this. I feel like it's a really fun, and like it just like is one of those patterns and one of those designs that like genuinely just brought me so much joy, because it was just so like, it just feels so like whimsical and fun. I used some scrap yarn and then some like kind of stash yarn. So I used a total of 3 colours. It was turquoise, pink and yellow. The pink and yellow were leftovers from my blossom cardigan, and then the turquoise was like just some yarn that I had in my stash. But I love the stitch pattern as well, and I love the stripes, because I feel like with the way that the stripes work in this stitch pattern, it's kind of giving like optical illusion in a sense, where like when you're close up you can obviously see every individual color, but from further away like it's a little bit more, the colors kind of blend a little bit more. So I do have a written pattern for this one. I also have a video guide to go along with it. So if you're not the best with written patterns, but maybe you're trying to learn, maybe you're trying to get a little bit better at them, the video guide I think is going to be really helpful for you, because in the video guide I show you how to do the stitch pattern. I show you how to like measure your body and stuff as well, but also if you want to do a stripy one, I show you how to change color on like nearly every other row so that you don't have to cut off your yarn, meaning that you have less ends to weave in. So the choice in terms of like the color setup and the stripes or not stripes is entirely up to you. I feel like there's quite a lot of like creative freedom with this piece as well. I think one color would look really, really beautiful, but I do love the look of a stripy one. I think also it's great for like stash busting and stuff as well. I personally made mine in like a fine yarn. I think it was like a sport weight yarn, so I used like a 3mm hook, and I love the way that like striped garments look in a really fine yarn. And yeah, I really love this pattern. I really love the design. I wore it a lot in like the spring and summer like months, especially like the transitional months. Like I feel like it's a really good transitional piece. I think because of the ties, obviously like more of your body is exposed sort of thing, it does lend itself well to like a spring, summer, autumn kind of cardigan. But yeah, I absolutely love this one, and I'm looking forward to digging it back out and wearing it again next year. The next thing I crocheted is the Daisy for You vest. This is a really fun like patchwork lacy vest. I absolutely loved making this. I did like a whole vlog on the process as well, because I basically had like 200 grams of this. Was it 200 grams? I feel like it was. Yeah, I had like 200 grams of this like fine weight black yarn, and I was really like, I want to make a vest out of it so bad, but like I didn't know if I was gonna have enough yarn to make a whole garment for myself. Obviously if you're also plus size, 2 skeins, 200 grams of yarn for a whole garment is like absolutely fucking unheard of. But I figured like if I would do lace, if I would do something a little bit more loosey-goosey, you know, or if I would do something that's physically a little bit more fitted, perhaps. I did get very, very close. Like I was so close to having like enough yarn for the whole garment. Obviously, as you can tell from the purple edition, I did not. But yeah, I was very, very close to having enough. I think I was probably like 30 grams away from having enough yarn, which is so annoying, but like I think this turned out really beautiful. And I actually really love the addition of the purple. Like I don't usually pair black and purple together. I feel like sometimes it can look a bit vampy, but I think in this case like it does look vampy, but it looks cool and hot and sexy. So with the Daisy for You vest, I have a video pattern for it. It's a really fun like lacy patchwork vest. Each square is only 3 rounds, and we also do a join as you go method, so you're not like just making a bunch of squares and then having to piss around and like join them all. We're building the garment as you go along, so it means that like the actual making of it is really, really quick, because like I said, each square is 3 rounds, so each square is like really not that much time at all. The border as well is only 2 rounds, so like I vaguely remember this garment like not taking me long at all to crochet. I want to say it took like, including like working, like doing it in the evenings and stuff, I'm pretty sure it only took me like a week. But yeah, I think it turned out really beautifully. I love the little like flower motif. Obviously I had to go for a punny name, Daisy for You, like crazy for you. Let me show you the back as well, because it is really nice. It just looks so beautiful. I absolutely love how these lacy squares look. And yeah, like I said, I have a video pattern for it where I obviously show you how to do everything. I show you how to do the squares, how to do the join as you go method. I show you how to measure your body. I think this is a really fun and like versatile piece. Like when I made it, I think it was like the beginning of spring, and I wore it a lot like in the springtime, and then also in the summer, like just with like a strappy top, and then also now in autumn and winter, because it's just like a great layering piece. I wore it over a dress, I've worn it over like a strappy or like a sleeveless top, I've worn it over a t-shirt, over a long sleeve. I think like, yeah, it's very much like an all year round kind of vest. Also as well, obviously I made mine kind of like regular length, but I really want to make like a long version. I feel like a long maxi or madaxi version, especially in black or like a dark color, would look so chic and so beautiful, and especially as like almost like a beach cover up, I feel like that would look really nice for like Halloween or something, or if like you're going out or like a club or something like that, like with like a leotard or some like little shorts or something. That could look so fun. But also it looks cute if you're not trying to do up sexy and cool and you just want to wear it over a t-shirt or a long sleeve or whatever. Like I feel like it's a very versatile piece in that like anyone can wear it no matter what your style is. I did add 2 little front ties. In the pattern, like, it's completely optional. You could add 1, you could add none, you could add 3, or however many you want. I added 2 just so I had like the option of having the whole thing closed or having it open or having just the front one done up. I feel like I love the versatility of it. In terms of the yarn, it was a fine weight yarn. I don't know the brand of it, but I used like a 3mm hook. I do know that this purple was the Drops Loves You. It's like Drops Hearts You or something like that. That was that yarn. But I really love the color combination together. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily pair purple and black together, but I think it looks cute. So the next 2 things I crocheted are things that are in my storage at the moment, so they're like very much summery pieces. The first one is this asymmetrical t-shirt. I was very much on an asymmetrical kick this year. I don't know why. I think maybe like I've been seeing it a lot more, like maybe it's become a bit more in fashion and stuff, so like I've just been seeing asymmetrical stuff more so, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, that looks fun, like let me make my own version. But yeah, I made a asymmetrical t-shirt. I was also very much on a kick of like using up a lot of the yarn that I had in my stash. So I had this like really beautiful orange cotton left over from a dress that I crocheted, and then I had this pink cotton, which I don't think I have any like big project where I used it, but I just had some of it left over, and so I was like, all right, let me make a t-shirt out of it. I made this really fun asymmetrical v-neck t-shirt. One half of it's pink, one half of it's orange. I had added these like really cute little button closures. I really love it. I think it's really cute. I wore it a lot in the spring. I wore it a lot in the summer. It's a really unique stitch as well. Like I have a whole vlog where I shared the process of me doing it, but the stitch itself, I do remember being like, I've never seen this before in my life. Like the way the stitch worked up as well, I remember like you don't like chain, you basically like create these little bits basically and like to create the actual width of your garment or whatever you're crocheting. But yeah, it was really fun. I feel like trying this stitch was something like exciting and new for me. I love a little summer addition to my wardrobe, a little summer t-shirt. I wore it an awful lot and got a lot of wear out of it. I'm very much excited to bring it back for next summer and spring because like I know I'm gonna get really excited to wear it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun crocheting this. Like I said, I have a vlog for it. I don't have a pattern for it. I don't want to make a pattern for it. I also really love orange and pink together. I feel like this shade of orange in particular is like, for me personally, like quite a hard shade of orange to like color match and color pair. I feel like for me that shade of orange only looks good with yellow, pink or red, and I had yellow and pink and I was tempted to put in some yellow, but I remember like you can see it on the vlog, but I remember like having to faff around with it a little bit because obviously I was using scrap yarn and I was like working with a minimal amount of yarn. I really didn't know like how much yarn I would need for the whole piece. But yeah, it was a really fun project. I thoroughly enjoyed making it. I think it looks really cute. I love the color combo and I love a fun little cute t-shirt. So the next thing I crocheted again is in my summer storage. It is the Diamond in the Rough cardigan. So this cardigan is inspired by my Blossom cardigan. If you know me, if you've followed me or watched any of my content for any period of time, you probably know about the Blossom cardigan because I do not shut the fuck up about it. It's basically a split color lace cardigan. The Blossom cardigan is a like floral combination. It was the first time I ever tried crochet lace. It was the first pattern I ever released. I love that cardigan to death. I absolutely adore it. It's a really fun like flower lace motif, but then I really wanted to make another version of the Blossom cardigan but with a different lace pattern, so that's how the Diamond in the Rough cardigan was born. Obviously the Diamond in the Rough cardigan, the lace pattern is diamond shaped. I think this looks really cute. I think like the diamond shapes is a really fun addition. I also think that if you've tried the Blossom cardigan, you'll probably find the Diamond in the Rough one a little bit easier in terms of the actual lace pattern. I feel like the row repeats are a little bit more repetitive, meaning that the lace pattern is easier to pick up. And as well, if you've tried the Blossom cardigan, the construction is like the exact same, it's just the lace pattern is ever so slightly different. So for the Diamond in the Rough cardigan and even the Blossom cardigan, I have a pattern for both of them, but with the Diamond in the Rough one, I do have a video guide to go alongside it. So if you're maybe like new to crochet lace, maybe you find it a little bit intimidating, I feel like the video guide is going to be really helpful because I basically show you how to do like the entire stitch pattern. I also feel like doing it side by side where like you're reading the instructions but you're also seeing how to do it, I think is a really good way to like transition people into written patterns, because I find that like the majority of people who say that they can't read a written pattern, they know how to crochet, and if I was to say to them like single crochet 3 times and then skip a stitch and then do a double crochet, they'd be able to do it. It's almost like they just need to hear the instructions. And I think sometimes saying the instructions out loud is actually very helpful, because I used to really struggle, or at least I thought I used to really struggle with written patterns, because I very much was like, that's how my brain worked. But if somebody just says it out loud, I'm like, oh, I know what you're asking me to do. So sometimes I will quite literally like read the pattern instructions like out loud, and then I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like seeing it sometimes, I think because we're using like abbreviations, it's almost like it's written in this like secret code, and it can be a bit like jarring to try and not only figure out what are they trying to tell me to do, but also like, you know, scramble this like code that everything is written in. So like I get it, I totally get it. But yeah, I think like doing the video guide and having it alongside the actual written instructions, I think is like a really good way for people to transition into written patterns as well, because there are so many amazing written patterns out there, and I feel like there are so many people who are losing out because they're not able to read a written pattern. And honestly, all you can do is try. Like you can try it and it might not work, or you might not get it the first go, but like you have to try, you have to give it an attempt to actually know whether you can or can't. And obviously I know that there are people who genuinely can't read a written pattern. Obviously I am not referring to those, so don't bean soup me, okay? But yes, that is the diamond in the rough cardigan. I absolutely loved crocheting this. This was actually technically a like crochet graveyard one, but I just didn't vlog it in that way. I also do have a whole vlog of me crocheting that cardigan, so if you want to see more about it, I will obviously link in the description. But yeah, it was a old piece that was also a like little front tie cardigan, which was a piece by Chenda DIY. I just didn't like the way that it fit me. I think like I did it a little bit too low, and I just never gravitated towards it. I also like loved the colorways of the yarn. I think the yarn colors like looked really beautiful together, so I did frog it and then turn it into something new. But like I didn't vlog it in the crochet graveyard way, because I'd frogged it all, and then I was just like, oh, okay, now I have this yarn and now I'm gonna crochet this cardigan. Because when I frogged it, I didn't know what it was gonna turn into, and I didn't have an idea yet as to what I was gonna make. But yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to make another kind of like version of my blossom cardigan. I can't imagine it's going to be the last. I feel like they're a really fun addition to my wardrobe. That was the next thing that I crocheted for this year. The next thing I crocheted is the granny vest. This is actually my second version of this vest. The first one I did was last year. It was like a brown and gold one. It was also like split color down the middle, but like not stripy. I remember last year when I posted about it, I was like tempted to do a YouTube tutorial, and when I kind of like offered the idea of maybe doing a YouTube tutorial, there was quite a lot of interest in it, so I did make a tutorial for it. That's like the only main. Was that the only tutorial I posted this year? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I usually do like one tutorial a year because it's just like a lot of work for no pay. So I don't typically like doing them, just because like I said, yeah, it's a lot of work and I don't really get anything out of it. I don't do them often, but when I do, I think they're for things that are kind of fun, and usually for things that like I know have a lot of interest, or like people have shown a lot of interest in. But yeah, like I said, the first one I did was a brown and gold version, and for this one I wanted to utilize again some of my scrap yarn. So I basically did this like fun stripe with a turquoise and a blue, a turquoise and a green, sorry, and then I did the same green and then like this tealy color, and then obviously like, you know, split color. It's also split down the middle. Let me show you. So it's like fully split down the middle. This is like the same construction as my brown and gold one. The only difference is with this one is that I did it stripy. Also on the tutorial, if you want to do your version striped as well, I show you how to change color on every other row without having to cut off your yarn, meaning less ends to weave in. You also don't have to make it split down the middle. You can do it all one color. Do like a contrast trim. You can do whatever you want. Like the world is your oyster in terms of the color palette. But yeah, this was a really fun project. I wear my gold and brown one all of the time, so I knew that I was going to wear this one a lot as well. And the fact that it was like an actual like color, you know, like brown and gold is like a little bit more neutral, so it would feel like it was something that I could wear with like colorful stuff, whereas with this one I wear with things that are a little bit plainer, because obviously this one is like bright and colorful and a little bit more jazzy. But yeah, I wear this an awful lot. I really enjoy it. I feel like, again, with similar to my Daisy for You vest, it's a very versatile piece. I get to wear it in the spring, the summer, the autumn, the winter. It's very layerable. I also feel like a longer version of this could also look really cute. Like, again, like a beach cover up could look really nice. I really love a vest. I kind of want to do like an actual like sweater vest rather than like a front tie one. Maybe Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll add that to my wish list. But yeah, I love a vest. I think they're very fun to wear. I feel like they kind of like jazz up an outfit very easily. Every time I post this specific vest, there is always some fucking loser who's like, oh, the sides are not the same size. They are. I personally stand at an angle, and I know I don't have to explain myself, but like I feel like I want to, but I stand like at an angle. I don't stand straight. They are the same size. I promise you they're the same size. If you're watching this from TikTok and you see somebody has said that, beat them up. No, I'm joking. I've been talking for so long. This is the granny vest. If you want to crochet your own, I have a tutorial. I had a lot of fun crocheting this. I got to use up a lot of my scrap yarn. Again, a win-win. I don't have much else to say about it. I wear it a lot. It's cool, it's fun. Okay, so the next two things that I made are also in my summer storage. So the next thing was my Wave Hello top. The Wave Hello top is my very own pattern, and I wanted to create another version of it. The first version I made was actually in the like same color yarn that I'm wearing now. It was like a blue and a green. It was in like obviously a heavier yarn. I think it's beautiful. I love it. I wear it all of the time. But I wanted to create another version of it in like a thinner yarn. Not only because I obviously wanted to, but also to showcase this pattern, because out of all of my patterns, it's probably like the least popular, but ironically had like the most interest when I was talking about it and when I was also sharing the pattern testicle. So I don't know what that's about, but I basically wanted to create another one. I also again had some yarn that I wanted to utilize in my like yarn stash. I had some grey cotton yarn, and I was like, I don't really wear grey. Like, I'm just not really a grey person. I've never really gravitated towards the colour. It reminds me a lot of like school uniform, and I have a lot of like associated trauma with school and wearing school uniform. And yeah, I had this grey yarn, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with it. So, and I didn't have like a lot of it, so I was like, obviously I kind of need to put it with something else. And I found these other two yarns, like a dark purple and a kind of like tealy colour, like a tealy blue, and I was like, oh, this makes a beautiful colour palette, and like one that I really love and I can really wear and see myself wearing. So yeah, I basically made another version of my Wave Hello top in this like beautiful fine yarn with these three colours. I did it ever so slightly different, where like each of the rows or each of the like blocks of colour I did like different sizes, so it wasn't like completely uniform. But I actually low-key prefer this version of my Wave Hello top to like the original one, not for any reason, just like I think I just really love the colour palette, which is so surprising to me because I just don't fuck with grey in that way. So yeah, I'm actually really surprised at how much I love this top and like how much I wore it in the summertime. This very much became like a top that I grabbed. Like if I was like, oh, I don't know what to wear today, I would wear that version of the Wave Hello top. So yeah, I think the top turned out beautifully. I really love the fit of it as well. Like I went for a more fitted fit. I went for like a higher neck. This was like a very much, in my opinion, like almost polished version of my Wave Hello top. But I had a lot of fun crocheting it, and I do have a vlog where I like documented the process a little bit more. I do have a pattern for this one, a written pattern. It's a very simple top. I will say that it's a very simple construction. So again, if you're kind of new to written patterns, I feel like this is going to be really good for you. There's also a video tutorial of how to do the stitch pattern as well. So like I have video and visual guides for you. And also my pattern testers for this pattern in particular did such an amazing job. They did so well, like beyond my expectations. And so if you want like some more color inspiration or size inspiration, like I would highly recommend looking at the listing, and you can see the testers like photos and stuff. But yeah, I had a really good time crocheting this top. That's the Wave Hello top. And then the next thing I crocheted was my fun little slutty dress. So I did vlog this whole process over on TikTok and on here, so if you want to know more about it, I will obviously link the YouTube vlog in the description. But I basically went to All Points East Festival. I wanted to crochet myself an outfit. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to create, but I knew that I wanted to crochet a fun little slutty dress, and that I did. It turned out to be a really cute dress. In the vlog, obviously, I kind of like share more about the process itself, but it was like a lacy cow neck. It had like a really fun floral kind of waist, and then a really fun stitch for the skirt. I did like a very short mini skirt with like slits up the side, and then I finished it off with this like greeny gold around the edges, and then I like kind of laced up the slits as in the skirt, which I think looked really cute. And then the whole dress is this like beautiful lilac color, and the lilac is actually left over from a dress that I crocheted last year, I think, or the year before. I don't know how I ended up with so much yarn that I could crochet two dresses, but at last, here we are. It turned out really good. I loved wearing it. It was super comfortable. I think I looked really hot and sexy in it, I gotta say. And yeah, it just fit my criteria of a fun little slutty dress. I think I looked really good in it. I felt really comfortable. I don't have a pattern for this one, nor will I be making one again. This one is just for me, but yeah, I had a really good time crocheting it. And then moving away from summer wearables, we're very much into autumn wearables, autumn and winter now. So I crocheted the Clown College Sweater by Aidan Wells Crochet. This was part of a pattern test, and I have never participated in a pattern test before, so this was my very first one. I had a good time. It was a great pattern, very easy to follow. I don't think I had any issues with the pattern itself. It was a fun experience being part of a like pattern tester group rather than like, you know, being the designer and on the other side. I love the pattern. I think it's great. I used a really fun variegated yarn. This is like pink, yellow and white, which I just had in my stash, and like I had 700 grams of it, and I was like, I don't really know what to make with it just yet, but like I knew I would find something to make with it. And then once this pattern test came along, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. So this was probably like the tapestry crochet project that I tried where I really had this like light bulb moment of like how little yarn is needed for the actual like tapestry part itself. So I used all scrap yarn. Like this is all just yarn in my stash that for the faces. Oh, faces, there is the back part as well. Let me show you. So this is the back. It's a sad clown face as well. So cute. But yeah, so I used all scrap yarn for the face like tapestries, and I didn't realize like how little yarn you needed for like for certain areas of a tapestry. And I think in my mind, like that's something that kind of like not put me off, but I think like derailed my brain a little bit, where I was like, oh, but I need so much yarn of each color and like maybe I don't have enough, la la la. And I think now where I've got like a pretty sizable like scrap yarn quantity, I guess, or like drawer, I guess, I think like that's where my love of like tapestry has really excelled, because I was like, oh, I don't need a lot of yarn to like create each of the eyes or the nose or the eyebrows or whatever. I think this kind of like made me realize how little yarn I needed to create like fun tapestry pieces. But yeah, like I said, I had a really fun time crocheting the sweater. It was a very simple pattern to follow, very size inclusive. I was able to obviously utilize a lot of scrap yarn and some like stash yarn. The pattern is size graded. It is, I think I said it's by Aidan Wells Crochet. I will link their socials in the description in case you want to grab the pattern yourself. But yeah, I wear this quite frequently actually. I feel like the fit of it is really nice. I pattern tested the 3XL, which is my size, and yeah, I think it fits me really nicely. It's like a nice slouchy fit, not like oversized, not cropped as well. It's like a, you know, a good length on me. And yeah, I really love this sweater. The next thing I crocheted is my Halloween cardigan. I am like low-key scared to talk about this cardigan now, because I posted a video about this cardigan where I basically did on TikTok, where I basically did like a hypothetical price breakdown, because I've had a few people ask about this, where they either want to buy their own, they want the pattern, or they want me to commission this cardigan for them, or they want to buy this one. And I've said no, because I know that it's going to be very expensive. So I decided to do like a hypothetical price breakdown on my TikTok, and where I broke down how long everything took me, from the designing to weaving in ends to the actual crocheting, as well as like materials, and how much I would charge, how much the whole thing would cost. Everyone lost their goddamn fucking minds. Don't get me wrong, the large majority of people were like very much like, yeah girl, charge your worth, and period. The large majority of people were in support of me charging my worth, but for some reason, for some fucking reason, which I'm still really annoyed about, but TikTok decided to push my video out onto the pages of absolute fucking weirdos. Either people who didn't crochet, or like super old people like in their fucking 60s plus, who were like calling me names. They were being really fucking rude to me. Like people were actually being verbally abusive, people were being fat phobic, people were actually talking to me like fucking shit. And I don't understand what the problem was, because I'm not selling this cardigan. It was all hypothetical. It was all fake. I don't do commissions for this reason. And you know what the funny thing is that even if I was to charge minimum wage for this cardigan, which is £12 something per hour, this cardigan would still be over 2 grand, and nobody is going to pay 2 grand for a cardigan. And I get that, which is why I don't do commissions. Anyway, I just had to get that out there, because I'm very much still in the thick of it, where all of these insane people are in my fucking comments. You can do this thing on TikTok where you can like filter certain words, and I filtered all of the words of the regular comments that are pissing me off, so I don't have to see it anymore. But anyway, let me get into the actual cardigan. Now my rant is over. But if you were on my TikTok, or like you saw when it was really bad. You know how fucking bad it got. And also then I decided to analyze all of the comments of like all of the negative comments that I was receiving, because I was noticing some things. I noticed some stuff and it was very interesting. So I did like a breakdown analysis of all of the negative comments and like all of the groups of people and the common threads of like what people were saying. And yes, I noticed some things. Lots of ableism, lots of misogyny, lots of racism. If you obviously want to see those breakdowns, you can go to my TikTok. But yes, I'm going to stop talking about it now. But anyway, beautiful fucking cardigan. I love how this turned out. So I love Halloween. I am very much a spooky babe. I don't really fuck with Christmas. And that's another thing. People are like, make a Christmas version. No, I don't want to. I'm also brown. Why are you assuming that I celebrate Christmas? Anyway, I don't want to make a Christmas version. I am a Halloween girl. I wanted to crochet a Halloween project for this year. I did one last year, which was a really fun like patchwork, like Halloween spooky sweater. And like I kind of really love the idea of doing like a new Halloween project each year. And I knew that this year I wanted to do this like fun, kitschy, like almost tacky, vintage style cardigan. But yeah, I knew I wanted to create something like that. And so I basically designed this whole thing. Like I designed everything from scratch. All of these panels came from my brain. I put together this little guy with his hat and his balloon. I put together this little guy in his box with the spring and the spiral and the witch's hat. And then I turned them all into charts. I fucked around with the charts for however long. And then I obviously actually crocheted everything. So I did vlog the whole process on my YouTube as part of my Vlogaween series. I think it's like the last 3 to 4 vlogs. If you want to know more about like the process and how I designed everything, how I made the charts, the actual crocheting, that sort of thing, I will link them in the description. I will not be making a pattern for this. Firstly, because some people don't deserve a pattern for this. Secondly, I don't want to. Again, this is something that I have made for myself. I want it to be just for me. I feel like because I designed these and these things came from my brain, I feel very attached to it, and I feel like it's a very personal, creative expression for me, and I don't want anyone else to have it. So I don't want to make a pattern. I really enjoyed the process of crocheting it, and I think like it's a very wearable piece for me. Like that was one thing I really wanted to focus on, was to not make it in typical Halloween-y colours with like the orange and the purple and the green and the black. Like I went for this like rosy pink because I knew it would be easy to implement into my wardrobe. I went for like this tone of orange because I knew it would be easy to implement into my wardrobe, you know, that sort of thing. I wanted it to be wearable. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be whimsical. And I think I have absolutely achieved that. I also feel like the fit of it is really nice. And that's another thing that people were saying. People were like, how does it even fit you? It's on my fucking body. You can tell this place has really pissed me off. But I have to get it out there, guys. I have to say it, because yeah, people on TikTok are fucking weird, man. Don't get me wrong, there were lots of people who were like very much like in my corner and very much like came to my defense, which I absolutely appreciate. But yeah, I don't know why the algorithm decided to push my video out onto like these horrible people. But yeah, it was fucking nuts for a while, and it still is. I'm getting like the dregs of it at the moment, so everything's very like fresh in my brain. So forgive me if I seem a little bit vexed about it still. It's because I am. Anyway, I feel like I've talked enough about this cardigan. It's beautiful. I love it. I love her so much. Very excited to wear her more. I kind of have to stop myself wearing it because like I reach for it a lot more than I would care to admit. And I'm like kind of like, I need to calm down. I need to wear other things. So yeah, that's this cardigan. It's fun, it's cool, I love it. The next thing I crocheted is this African flower granny hexagon asymmetrical top. I promise I will not give it a ridiculously long name when I actually release the pattern. I crocheted this as part of my crochet graveyard series, so this used to be another top. I did vlog the whole process, so if you want to see more about what it looked like before and the whole process, then I will link in the description. But yeah, this was a different top. It looks different, and I wanted to like redesign it whilst I was on holiday. I kind of like gave myself the challenge of like seeing if I could crochet it whilst I was on holiday to wear for my holiday. I unfortunately did not succeed, spoiler alert, but I was like, I really want to finish this because I don't want to put it back in the crochet graveyard like unfinished. I really want to like finish it, and then I can obviously work on the pattern and like release the pattern in like the new year in the spring and stuff. So that is exactly what I did. It's a really fun African flower granny hexagon, and it has a nice asymmetrical like strap to it. I finished it off with a little fun little border as well, and I think it turned out really cute. I I really love how this looks on me as well. Like I was very much unsure how an asymmetrical strap would look. Like as much as I've done like 2 or 3 other asymmetrical designs, I've never done something that's like, you know, one side is strapless with like an asymmetrical strap. So I was a little unsure how it was going to look on me, how I'd feel about it, but I think it's turned out really nice. And I actually think I really like the way the fit of it is on me. I also love an African flower granny square or hexagon. Like I think they are such a beautiful and intricate and like very chic and like just, oh yeah, just a beautiful crochet design. And I think in this top in particular it looks really, really fun. I love the way I was able to like Tetris everything together, and it's a very simple make as well. So like I said, I do have a vlog where I documented the process for like my crochet graveyard series, but I will be doing a pattern for this one. So if you are interested in doing the pattern testing, just be sure to subscribe to me on here, follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because that's where I will post the pattern testicle, probably like maybe end of January, February time, because I kind of want to get this pattern out for like springtime. I feel like this is going to be like a really nice spring and summer top. But yeah, I had so much fun crocheting this. This was with some like scrap yarn from a project where I crocheted my mum a cardigan, I think a couple of years ago now for Christmas, and I had some yarn left over and I was like, all right, let me turn it into something new. The original top was actually for when I went to go see Megan Thee Stallion. I crocheted myself a little cord, and that vlog in particular is pretty fucking nuts because I changed my mind and changed the idea like 40,000 times. I was literally crocheting my outfit the day before the gig, and this was like one of the ideas that I had. Obviously not this exact one, but like the way the hexagons. So I didn't actually end up like crocheting a lot of this for this top. I was just like kind of rejigging and like re-tetrising the shapes together to make it form something a little bit different, and so it like looked a little bit better and looked better on me. But yeah, I love this top. I'm really excited to actually wear it properly in the spring and summer, and like I'm excited to style it. I think like I have a lot of clothes and skirts and nice trousers and stuff and shorts and stuff that I think will go really, really nicely with this top. And I feel like as well would just be cute as like a little layering piece as well. I can imagine it looking cute over like a shirt or a long sleeve or a little t-shirt. But yeah, this is the African flower granny hexagon asymmetrical top, which I will be giving a better name for. The next thing I crocheted is the Brontosaurus top by Made in the Moment. Yet another tapestry crochet project. I told you I was on a real tapestry kick this year, and I don't foresee it dying down if I'm being so real. But I think I just had this like realization of like how simple tapestry crochet was, how little yarn it used, and like I could do it easily, you know? So yes, this is the Bronto top, or the Brontosaurus top by Made in the Moment. Obviously it's a dinosaur, it's a Brontosaurus. I am very much a autistic stereotype in that I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs. I've always found them fascinating. The Jurassic Park movies are like some of my favorite movies ever. One of my special interests. I know that they're not like biblically accurate, but I don't care. Anyway, it was really only a matter of time before I got at least one of Made in the Moment's dinosaur patterns. And I've had this pattern in my inbox for like probably a good year or so. But I think something that I really wanted to try this year was to like go out of my comfort zone and not only follow written patterns, but also like try new things, try other designers' patterns. And I'd already had this pattern and the On Fire sweater pattern for, I think I bought them at the same time, but I knew I wanted to crochet them both this year. This one I used some leftover yarn. So this teal yarn I used for my first ever Check Me Out cardigan and also my Halloween patchwork sweater that I crocheted last year, and I still had loads left. I think I had like 400 or 500 grams left, so I use it for the bulk of this sweater. And then the actual dinosaur, the green and the darker green, this is all like leftover yarn from a project that I did last year. I added some of the green stripes to the sleeves just for like a little bit more pizzazz. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I do have a vlog where I vlogged the process of me crocheting this and shared more about like my thoughts and my feelings on the actual pattern itself. So if you want to know more about that and about the pattern and how I feel about it, I will obviously link it in the description. It's a great pattern. I really enjoy it. I really want to make another one, but where the dinosaur is purple, kind of giving like Barney vibes. I feel like it's very size inclusive, and I fucking love a dinosaur. Like, who doesn't? But yeah, that's the next thing that I crocheted. The next thing I crocheted was this Kindle cover. I've kind of gotten back into reading. If you saw the vlog, you know that I was a very big reader growing up. I was very much like a Matilda child, and I went through some significant trauma that made it really hard for me to like focus on words on a page, and I hadn't read a book in a very long time, which was very sad for me because reading was one of my favorite hobbies. But yeah, I started getting back into reading. I have a Kindle, like an e-reader, and I have been reading like comic books and a lot of manga. I'm currently reading Tokyo Ghoul, probably finish it very soon. I'm very nearly at the end, but I've read Death Note, I've read My Hero Academia, I've read The Walking Dead, and I've been loving reading. The Kindle case that I used to have was like one of the ones that you kind of like get from Amazon. I don't like buying from Amazon. I actually fucking hate them. So I didn't really want to buy another one from them, and I knew that I kind of had to because obviously it's a Kindle. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking make my own. The main thing that I wanted to achieve from this was that I didn't want it to be like a sleeve. I didn't want it to be something where I had to take the Kindle out of something, and I think that's what I really loved about my old case, was that I was able to kind of like just open up the front bit and then just read it. So that's basically what I did. I think I achieved that. It's a very cute like checkerboard design with a button fastening, little casing thing where I could like put the Kindle inside, so now I don't have to like take the Kindle out of anything. I also like left this little gap on the side so that I can put my hand in it and still very comfortably hold it whilst I'm reading. But yeah, this is the Kindle case. I think it turned out really, really nice. I used a bunch of scrap yarn for it. I don't have a pattern for it, nor will I be making one. I do have a vlog where I vlogged the process, so if you want to know more about how I kind of got here, then I will link it in the description. I always find it really fun crocheting stuff that like isn't a garment, because I do it very rarely, but when I do have a lot of fun doing it. But I feel like there's so many things that you can crochet, from like home decor and like things that aren't necessarily like things you need. But I am very much like a very practical and pragmatic person, so outside of like things that look cute, I don't really like crocheting things just for like the sake of crocheting. Like I very much am somebody who's like, I want to crochet something practical, and I think clothes are practical, which is why I crochet clothes. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why I've never really gravitated towards like amigurumi, and this is no shade at all. I think amigurumi designers and people who do them, extremely talented. I don't know how you get your tension so tight. I think my hands would fall off. Yeah, I just don't really gravitate towards it because I don't really like need or want plushies. I don't have anyone in my life who would need or want them. It feels nice to crochet things that are practical for me, and especially when I was like, oh, I'll just have to, you know, lump it and buy one from Amazon. I was like, actually, I can fucking make one. Anyway, that's the next thing I crocheted. We only have like one thing left, guys. One finished piece, so we nearly made it. And the next thing I crocheted is my stab sweater, yet another tapestry crochet project. Nobody is surprised. I absolutely love this sweater. I think this is going to be the last finished project of 2025. I have started a new one, but I don't think I'll finish it before the year is up. I love this sweater. So if you don't know, in the Scream franchise, from like the second movie onwards, they start making a movie in the movie called Stab. That is this logo. I love some fandom merch. I love wearing things from fandoms that I love. Does that make sense? I also love a little inside joke. I love a little if you know, you know. And I feel like with this in particular, if you don't know the Scream franchise, you're probably going to be like, why does this bitch have Stab written on her sweater? But if you do know Scream, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I get that. So yeah, this is a really fun sweater. I had a really good time crocheting it. I do have a whole vlog where I documented the process, shared more about like how I did it, what I did, the yarn, all of that fun stuff. I don't have a pattern for it, nor will I be doing one. I don't think I'm ready to do like a tapestry pattern yet. I think potentially in the new year. I do have a few ideas, which like tapestry ideas, which I think I will be a little bit more confident in doing a pattern for. But yeah, I don't really want to do a tapestry pattern just yet. I don't think I'm ready for it. Like, as much as I feel confident in my skills for myself, some of them I also just don't really want to. But there is some stuff where I'm like, oh, that could be cool as a pattern, which I will be making next year. Anyway, this is the final finished project. I do also have this scarf, which I am crocheting for my partner's sister's Christmas gift. Obviously I haven't given it to her yet because it's not Christmas yet for me right now. I don't know when I'll be posting this video, so this might be a time travel situation. But yeah, I haven't finished it yet, obviously, and it's also not Christmas, so I have plenty of time. But I don't think I'm far off, to be honest. I think like I'll probably finish this skein of yarn and then see how I go. This is the Sadar Jewel Spun yarn. I don't remember the colour name, but it's just like the green one. I think they only have like one very green one, but it's a really beautiful yarn. If you know me, you know I fucking love the Sodagio spun yarn. I don't know the name of the stitch either. I literally just googled like crochet scarf, and then there was a tutorial by Hooked by Robin, and she showed this stitch pattern, and I was like, oh, I like that, so then I'm doing it. But she didn't say what the name of the stitch pattern was, so I don't know. But yeah, so this is probably going to be the last thing that I finish, obviously, in the year, because I need to get it done for Christmas. I have started another like sweater project, which definitely won't be done before the year is up, especially that I'm kind of like focusing on this project at the moment. But yeah, the stitch is really fun. It's a shame that she doesn't say what the name is, because it is really, really nice. So yes, this is technically going to be the last project of 2025. This is the last garment of 2025. Yeah, man, we made it. We fucking made it. It's actually so weird seeing this like pile of clothes on my bed and being like, this time last year none of this existed. That's pretty fucking mad, actually. That I'm like, wow, I made every single thing that I'm currently looking at, which is just a pile of clothes, by my hands. My 2 hands made all of these things. How fucking cool is that? I really do think that, like, as crocheters, as fibre artists, knitters, sewers, whatever art or craft that you do, like, I do think we really need to deep what it is that we're doing, where we're literally turning string into pieces of clothing. Like, that's fucking amazing. That's so cool, man. We are very cool people. Let's count. How many things did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 19, including the scarf, which I will finish before the year is up. 19! Wow, that's actually crazy. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I do dedicate a lot of time to crocheting. If you are feeling like any type of way about the fact that I've crocheted this much, I do feel like maybe like you might need to look a little bit inwards, because that shouldn't affect you, if I'm being so real, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I love this craft, I love this art form so much. I love the large majority of the community. I love all of the like fibre friends that I've made. I love seeing other designers and what they do. I love seeing other knitters as well, like different mediums of this kind of fibre arts community. It's a really fun medium, it's a really fun art form, and I think I'm good at it, and I think it's fun. Oh, how nice! How lovely. Anything that I have mentioned, whether there's a vlog or a pattern, whether it's mine or from a different designer, I will link everything in the description. But I had a really good crochet year this year. I hope you guys did. Let me know what my favorite project is that I made. No, let me know what your favorite project is. No, what? Let me know your favorite of what I've made. That's what I'm trying to say. But also let me know your favorite of what you've made. I hope you've all had a lovely year. I'm very much excited to share all of my fun projects for 2026. Whether you've subscribed to me recently or you've been here since January and you've seen all of the vlogs and you've seen me crochet all of these things, it's nice. Thank you for being here. I feel like this is the first year I've really kind of like put a lot of effort into YouTube and vlogging. I've been really enjoying it. I love the process. I love editing. I love sharing more about myself and about my projects. And I just honestly had a really good time. So thank you for being here. I hope you've all had a wonderful 2025. And I hope we all have a beautiful, amazing, crafty, creative 2026. And I will see you all in the new year. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next one.